Hi, everyone. It's Steven Schleicher from Majorspoilers.com, and I want to thank you for checking out this week's episode of Critical Hit. And I want to take a moment and I want to thank all of our patrons, because quite honestly, we wouldn't be able to do this show week after week, month after month, year after year, to the point where we have become one of the longest running, continuous real play podcasts out there. And we're so thankful to all of our patrons for making that happen. But we are at a point at Major Spoilers and Critical Hit where that may not be feasible anymore, because we need more of you, our fine listeners from all over the world, whether you're in Germany or Scandinavia or Australia or, yes, even Japan and China. We need more of you to join our growing group of awesome spoilerites at patreon.com/majorspoilers. And I know you're thinking, oh, I'll let the other person who's listening to the show take care of it. No, if everybody had that approach, then we wouldn't have any new patrons. And we need more of you to step up. I'm asking you to step up and join our group for just $5 a month. $5 a month at the silver level membership at patreon.com/majorspoilers gets you access to a bunch of stuff. You get behind the scenes on what's going on at Major Spoilers. You get this show a week early and commercial free. So if you don't like our commercials, well, then get on the Patreon at the silver level membership. Plus, you get access to secret channels on the Major Spoilers Discord server where you can go and talk about Critical Hit and other things. You can sign up at that silver level membership. $5 a month, just $5 a month. If we had 100, 200, 300, 1,000 of you, which there's more than 1,000 listeners to this show, if we had 1,000 of you sign up the silver level membership, we would be able to do so much more for you at Major Spoilers and the Major Spoilers Podcast Network and here at Critical Hit. But you want a little bit more? Okay, at the gold level, $10 a month, you get access to the Critical Hit character sheets. I'm rolling out the new character sheets right now on the Patreon page, patreon.com/majorspoilers right now. You can see what changes have been made to Doc and to Dutch, and in the coming weeks, Blisco and Valentino as well. You get access to our VIP live chat, where once a month I sit down with you and answer your questions about what's going on at Major Spoilers. And most importantly, you get access to the GM Roundtable. Now, what is the GM Roundtable? Some of you don't listen past the end. I talk about it every week, but the GM Roundtable in the past has been where we sit down and we tell you advice. We share advice with you on how to be a better game master at the table for you and your players. Currently, the GM Roundtable Octoon Cthulhu Edition is where I sit down with Dr. Bradley Will. You've heard him GM many games here on Critical Hit. And we talk about my plans for upcoming sessions. Like, I know where the team is going next. And so I'll sit down with Brad and I'll say, well, here's my plan and here's my thoughts and here's some things that I'm going to throw at the players. And Brad will share his, very knowledgeable reactions to this. Sometimes it gets a little heated. And so you really get an inside look at what's going on behind the scenes on this campaign. And you can take these lessons that I am learning as a newish GM, and you take the knowledge that Brad is sharing, and you can apply it to your own games. So just at the $10 a month, that weekly or bi-weekly, depending on when we have new episodes out, but generally weekly, they come out before new episodes of Critical Hit, you can get an inside look at what's going on in upcoming sessions. And of course, if you want your name as part of a Critical Hit game, that happens when you become an associate producer at patreon.com/majorspoilers. So we had a whole episode entitled The Great NATO. The Great NATO is one of our great patrons. He's been with us almost since the beginning. And we love the Great NATO so much that we made a character in the game based on him. So now is the time. Now is the perfect time for you to head to patreon.com/majorspoilers. Sign up just for $5 a month. $5 a month. In fact, we've got a deal. If you sign up for a whole year in advance, you get 2 months free. You pay for 10 months and you get 2 months free. That's quite a deal. So $5 a month keeps this show going, brings you more entertainment, and get you access to a bunch of other stuff. So if you can, take a moment, go to patreon.com/major spoilers and sign up for that silver level membership, just $5 a month. And I thank you so much in advance from the bottom of my heart. And of course, all the players appreciate it too. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Critical Hit Punch All Nazis takes place in the early days of World War II and combines high adventure with cosmic horror. All dates, locations, and historical events are thrown out the window in order to create a fun story. So don't put too much thought into historical inaccuracies. All accents are done poorly, but with love, and no disrespect is intended. The morning of December 21st, the curtains get pulled back in all of your rooms simultaneously at 7 a.m. The sun is starting to creep over the hills of New York as a blanket of snow covers the entire area. It is a picture postcard winter scene. You all go downstairs to have breakfast. You all meet in there. There is breakfast served. Felipe is not there. Higgins informs you that he wanted to get out early, and he took the Rolls Royce into town for his couple of things at the office that he needed to do, sign a couple of checks, and then he was going to go and meet about this dinner banquet.
Okay.
So you are free to do whatever it is that you want to do today.
Yeah, what do you guys want to do today? I do want, since we're staying, I want to maybe do some shopping, since now I have to buy Christmas gifts for people.
Fair enough. Reasonable. Will they let me in the garage?
In our garage?
Yeah.
Sure.
I'll bet you even
Okay.
money that
All right.
there's
You'll be
nowhere to
somebody
find me.
down there who won't let you.
All right. Before we go, we'll let Blisco have a look at the fleet.
Yeah, so Blisco, you get out there to the garage. It's a separate building. It would at one time would have been an old carriage house. So it's got a lower level that has 6 bays, and then it's got like a living quarters upstairs where the chauffeur lives. As he sees you approaching, he's coming down to greet you, asking you if you need anything. And then when you explain to him you want to take a look at the cars, he gladly opens the door. And before you are like 12, this garage is deep. So that's 2 cars per bay. And these are some of the most luxurious cars that you have ever seen.
Does the chauffeur still stay there with me?
Yeah. He's in charge of the fleet.
Just
Not
be
to let you steal something.
dozens of questions.
Okay, every question you have, he will gladly answer. He finds a kindred spirit in you.
We probably have at least... We probably have like a little, like, you know, those like pill-looking race cars.
Mm-hmm. There's one of those.
Yeah.
But most of them are very fancy, you know, like high-end, custom-made, Rolls-Royce, Mercedes-Benz, Daimler Chrysler, or just Daimler at that time, I think. So,
yeah.
So all the fancy stuff. But there is a kind of a more group car that the chauffeur is warming up for everyone, because that's the one that can accommodate the most people.
Can we take the Duesenberg?
Nope. Not enough seats. So you guys are able to drive a kind of more of a black limousine type car into town.
Packard Super 8. We should be really mean and not let Blisco drive. We should be like, I'll drive.
Well, the chauffeur.
Yeah, I figured the chauffeur was going to take us.
driving.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good call too. Yeah, they don't let us
But-
steal their cars.
Blisco can definitely ride shotgun, since he made a new friend.
And he definitely is.
Quick, what's the chauffeur's name?
The chauffeur's name is Dillons. Dillons.
Okay.
Dylan.
Did you sleep well, sir?
Yes, thank you, Dillons.
Good, good.
How are
Where
you
shall we go
doing?
today, sir? I am doing well, sir.
Let's go hit the stores.
Very good, sir. So he drives you into town, and again, takes probably 30 minutes to get to downtown to the stores, and you end up at the first place is probably a Gimbel's or a Macy's.
Okay. So first off, I wanna make sure this is clear. Dutch definitely went into the safe and got some money out.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He does not have any money.
Yes. Probably though, in this town, you could probably just walk in and say, "Bill,
Put it on credit."
yeah, put it on, bill my father or whatever," and they would certainly let you buy anything in the store.
Sure. Well, he'll still take out some cash anyway, and if like for example, they get to a place that has like a high cluster of stores, he might just like give some money to Dylan's and be like, "Hey, get yourself a decent lunch, huh?"
Oh, thank you, sir. And he looks at the
We'll see you
$5
here in a
bill that
couple
you
hours.
gave him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks at the $5 bill that you gave him as just going into like a cafe.
Yeah.
You took out of the safe, because your father keeps a lot of money in the safe. You took, again, a ridiculous amount of money. You took 1,000 monies out of the safe.
Okay.
Just a ridiculous amount.
Yeah.
That's a ridiculous amount now. It's 2023, and I'm like, 1,000.
I mean, I drove through Taco Bell today. $1,000 is about on target.
Hey, things are expensive.
All right. So what are you looking for? What are you shopping for? What are you guys all looking for as you go shopping?
Dutch is definitely going to try and get a tasteful gift for each of the guys. Something for mom, something for dad, something for Felipe, and scoping out something for the staff, like something where he can like maybe get everybody like a small bottle of a fancy liquor or something. You know what I mean? Like where like he'll just get like the same thing for everyone, and he'll just send somebody
maybe
to
like
buy it later.
I don't know, maybe like a silver letter opener for everyone, or a silver
or like
a
silver ornament or something like that for the
like a small
for their trees.
Probably small silver boxes would probably be the
like
most.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's silver, that has some value to it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, something that's small, tasteful, but also like this is not something you would buy for yourself. This is something your rich boss is giving you.
Yeah. Snow globes. Everybody gets snow globes.
Sure.
Rosebud.
All right. So you do that. You all eat lunch somewhere. Probably one of the department stores has a restaurant in it. A fancy sit-down restaurant that you can all sit in. And of course, that's the executives are all coming in, and they see that you're in the store, and they're very excited. The store manager or the store owner comes up and shakes your hand and is welcoming you back. Very glad. And he says loudly, "It's good to see the Arbogast like to shop at Gimbel's." And everybody, kind of hears that, and they're, "Ooh." And then later, the owner of Macy's sees you browsing around. "Oh, it's so good that the Arbogast shop at Macy's. Quality products at Macy's." And again, everybody around is like, "Ooh, Arbogast." You notice suddenly an uptick of people who are buying things. Sure.
Dutch definitely does not fight any of this because like he also didn't earn it. It's like it's not like this is because of anything he's done. So whatever, if these guys sell more products through this, that's fine. It doesn't matter.
Yep. Trade on the family name. It's no longer anything he worries about.
It's like, hey, this is like somebody else benefiting from our family name. That's fine.
Doc sort of leans over and goes, "The Helias family shops here as well, as do the Bliscos." Nobody gives a rat's ass.
Yeah, in fact, the store owner just kind of looks at you like he's taken aback, like, "Oh my gosh."
Oh, that's all right. He's with me.
Oh, very good, Mr. Arbogast. Oh, yeah, yes, very, very good.
And also, wait, is Blisco your last name?
No.
Okay. Yeah, it's
Blisco's not your last name?
Latich. Latich?
It's Latak?
Latak?
Ah,
So
Yeah,
we,
call-
like, none of us have
Polish.
ever said it.
no.
It's Polish, yeah. Like,
Okay. Okay. I get it now.
Do you guys buy anything? The rest of you do anything? Or are you just like in tow and in awe and just, let this guy do everything?
And Dutch will definitely be like, hey, if you guys see anything you like, just tell me, new band for your hat.
Probably
Fancy
be
belt.
A new hat, actually.
on the
sure.
lookout for a sturdy winter coat.
Yep, definitely.
Smart man.
it actually just seems like a generally good idea for all of us right now. Now, Blisco might grab something for his mother.
There are carolers on the street. There's slight snow falling. People are in good cheer. There's music coming from outside. One of the department stores has hooked up a speaker outside so people can hear the local radio station. You hear cars on the streets, kind of sounds
Mhm.
as people go about their business. It's Christmas time in the city.
Yeah.
It is late afternoon, like late afternoon. You see a lot of the street lights have already come on because, the sun, it's been cloudy, it's been snowy. The sun is going down by 4:00. All the street lights are on. It's kind of dark. And oddly, the town seems less friendly at night.
Sure.
You see the bar lights go on depending on which part of the town you're in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. Once we're done shopping and making a couple appearances, because it's like, oh god. Well, now that I've shown up at Macy's, I kind of feel like I have to go to Roebuck.
Yeah. And then you see some high school chums.
Yeah.
They're all happy to see you. They want to pump you for questions. One of them tries to talk you into a business venture. As you're walking down the street, he's just walking with you and is like, "Oh, Mr. Arbogast, you remember me? It's Timmy from school. And hey, listen, I've got this great idea for a business that is sure to make a lot of money. If I could just bend your ear for a little bit and maybe get a loan from you." And he just goes on and on and on. And it's pretty clear
I'd be
that
like,
this is not a business that he's interested that is going to make you any money.
Yep. Yeah. It does sound interesting. Why don't you call the house and leave all the details with?
Oh, yes. Thank you. And he tips his hat to you. Have a great holiday, sir.
Hey, you too. Say hi to the family.
Yes, I will. And then as you're walking away, you can hear him turn to somebody else. I went to high school with that guy.
Like Dutch will be like, do you guys want to grab a drink at a bar, or do you just want to go back to the...
I wouldn't mind a drink. This has been somewhat, I don't mean to say overwhelming, but just, it has been something.
Two things. One, I totally get it. I understand that if you're not used to this sort of thing, it can be overwhelming. So no, you're not hurting my feelings. And two, we don't know that this same thing isn't going to happen at a bar, just so you're prepared. Although at a bar, we're probably much more likely to find people who know my family but aren't as happy with it.
I'm sure if you offer a round, that'll smooth over any ill will.
Well, that's fine. I don't know that I don't want my family to not be seen in a bad light every once in a while.
Fair enough.
There is a lot of places you can go and drink. There's super bad dive bars. There are down by the canals. There are, some nice, neighborhood bars. There's some jazz clubs that you can go to. There's, pick what kind of bar you want to go to, and you can go there.
Yeah, definitely a jazz club.
Okay, so you go to a local jazz club, and it is very interesting. The moment you walk in, there's a small stage up front, and there's a female singer, a woman up there. She's singing. Her voice is just beautiful. There's a trumpet and an upright bass and a piano and a drum, and they're all accompanying her, and she's playing some beautiful music. There are people all around of various ethnicities, various economic status. You can tell that there's people that have a lot of money, people that don't have very much money, and they've all come to listen to this music. And there is a bar very well stocked in the back that's selling alcohol.
Yeah. Dutch is not going to throw money around here, but those of you that have been paying attention will see that once he's in here, he's probably a lot more at ease.
Somebody recognizes you right away, and he's like, "Oh, Mr. Arbogast, we have a seat right up here for you." And
All right,
he takes you and your group over to the table, and you sit down, and you're fairly close to the stage. You're about a second row back from the stage, and this performer, her voice is great. It's been a while since you've heard jazz. Obviously, jazz in France is starting to become very popular. Josephine Baker was it's really a huge star in France at this time while you guys were over there. But your ability, once you were in the military, to go to a place that plays jazz is pretty slim.
Yeah.
And of course, nothing beats good American jazz.
Yeah, it's great.
And in between, sets. So I'm going to take a break. Thank you, everyone. And there's some applause. There's at least one guy in the back, like, cat call, a whistle, woo, 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 kind of thing. And there's some laughter from that. And then it kind of gets quieted down, and you just hear some general chatter around. You hear the table next to you. The man is really trying to impress upon his date that it's cold outside and they should get home and warm up by the fire. And she's like, "No, I can't." He's like, "Come on, baby." That kind of stuff. And then at another table, you can hear somebody saying, "I'm telling you, Roosevelt is the worst. He's the worst president that we've ever had. I don't care about this public works nonsense. He's not pulling this country out fast enough." And then you hear another person. It's like, yeah. I just wish the Socialist Party would come in and take over this place. And then you hear some other people going, "Oh, look, isn't that Carlos Arbogast? Yeah, I think that's Carlos Arbogast. He hasn't been in town for a couple of years. Yeah, I heard his father had a fight and he fled the country. Oh, that's horrible. Do you think he killed somebody? Why did he flee the country? I don't know. I think he took a lot of money and now his father's really mad at him. Oh, yeah, I can understand. The Arbogast there. There's horrible people. Yeah. He's probably horrible as well. He's too stuck up. He didn't even buy this place a drink." And, all of that kind of stuff that continues to go on. Just all sorts of things that you hear.
Sure.
As you're sitting around.
Yeah. This is the part of the RPG where like Valentino separates from the party. Like, we're not all following him, and you can walk around and talk to, like, press A at each individual person and hear what they're saying.
Yeah. Well, there's 3 or 4 tables around you, and you can pick up the chatter. So
sure.
It's a very mixed room.
Even through that, Dutch seems a lot calmer than, or it's not like he was like stressed out before, but there was definitely like a slight like stiffness to his back this whole time, and here he's like he has been in the past.
Good.
He's himself again.
Yeah. The waitress comes up and she brings you drinks. Sorry, Doc, the alcohol here is not as tasty as the collection that you've been drinking from at the Arbogast estate, but it's it's passable.
As long as it's not going to knock me on the nose again.
Oh my, let's find out, shall we? Let's roll a brawn plus resilience check. We'll only do a D1 on this one.
Why are you going to be so mean?
You guys have 1 momentum.
And now we have 3 momentum.
There you go. 3 momentum. Yeah, this it's not going to knock you on your butt. In fact, you're pretty sure that the bartender is watering this alcohol down quite a bit, so that they can buffer their profit margin.
Make it last. There's a depression on.
Yep. Although by 1939, December, we're starting to officially come out of the Depression. Doesn't mean that everything in the economy is back to normal, but they track the Depression to the end of 1939. So,
which means that by about 1954, people actually realized it was over.
Yeah. So yeah, people are still watering down the drinks. There's cigarette girl walking around. If you ever want to, if anybody needs to buy cigarettes, there's plenty of smoking in this establishment.
Mm-hmm.
You hear other people laughing like somebody just told a joke. You can see the mayor back in the corner. He's talking to somebody back in the corner. They appear to be having a grand old time. This is a pretty dark room, so it's hard to make out a lot of faces and that kind of stuff. You can hear at one point the man and the woman that are sitting next to the table. They both get up and they're both giggling and laughing and holding hands as they put on their coats and leave the bar. A couple of minutes later, a couple of other people are sitting down. It's like they are kind of very quiet for a while as the band comes back on and plays another song. What do you think of this jazz, Valentino? You're very quiet.
It's certainly nice. It's good to get a little bit of a different culture around here. Definitely something that, my own family would turn their nose up at. So I'm enjoying it and might be seeing if there's any food to be procured. I don't know that we've eaten in a while.
Oh, sure. You can get a sandwich brought to your table.
Yeah.
It's nothing fancy. It's like ham and cheese. And it's literally just like 2 slices of white bread with a chunk of cheese and a chunk of ham. And that's really what they have for you for that. There's nuts too, I suppose.
Any
hopefully none
pickled
of you are.
eggs?
No, not in this establishment.
If I can retroactively, when we decided that we were gonna stay for a drink, I would have had Dylan's ask him to call the house and be like, "We're not gonna be there for dinner."
Yeah, Higgins does step in very quickly. He comes up to you. Is like, Dylan's comes up and he goes, "I've talked to Higgins. He said that's fine. Master Felipe also did not make it back for dinner tonight."
Okay. Out and about, I guess.
Yes, I believe so. And then he did drive himself. He slipped out early this morning before I had a chance to get the car warmed up for him.
Okay.
I'll
That's
be outside
all right.
if you need anything, sir. And
Well, I'll tell you what. We're gonna go into this club. Why don't you find yourself some dinner too?
Oh, okay. Thank you. Very good, sir. Thank you. I've still got plenty of money left over, so
Okay.
no need to worry about me.
And then So Dutch is definitely like, it's like, oh yeah, beautiful, like mellow jazz. Fine. Like Dutch is waiting for like that drummer and trumpet player to start like,
Yeah, they scat.
yeah,
They
like
do some
start
really good
riffing,
stuff.
like maybe while
Yeah.
the singer's like taking a little break. It's like, oh yeah, this is stuff I like. So it's all like
Oh yeah, it's really good. It is like ambrosia to music lovers. Yes, you can go to Europe and you can hear classical music and you can hear their take on jazz and you can hear, just popular music that's on the radio, but nothing beats this jazz music. This is like everything that's happened to you over the last couple of months. Carlos has just been a huge stressor.
Sure.
And this feels like you have attained a super centered place. Like you are so calm and so relaxed that if you could just stay here for days and just listen to this music and have this cheap alcohol and eat, crusty cheese sandwiches, ham and cheese sandwiches, this would be the life that you could live.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you hear, this music is not very good. We should leave. And the 2 people that have been sitting at the table next to you finally get up and walk out.
Was that a German accent?
Yeah, that was somebody that sounded German. It was hard to hear above all the music and everything, but it certainly sounded like German. And you definitely heard a this is terrible music. We should get out.
Yeah.
Did we all hear it?
Oh, I certainly Carlos was the closest to them. So maybe Blisco, did you hear them?
Probably. Was
okay.
doing the same thing that Carlos didn't give him a odd look.
Yeah. You did give them an odd look?
Give Carlos an odd look.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh.
Yeah, the rest of you did not hear because the music is pretty loud in here.
Yeah, once they've like stood up and started walking away, Carlos will look back at them.
looks like two normal citizens
Sure.
of Albany, New York.
Yeah.
There's nothing special about them.
Yeah, he'll just like shake his head and look at Blisco and be like, it's fine, it's fine. But also, as like the fact that all the stuff that has been going on is sort of like brought back, he'll like look over at Valentina and be like, you haven't seen anything while you've been here, have you?
No, I don't think I've seen anything out the ordinary.
Okay. Well, if you do, let me know. Don't
be coy. Got it.
Yeah.
Music continues. Drinks are served. People come and go. Mayor gets up and he walks out with somebody who's obviously not his wife that you recognize, Carlos.
Classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably won't stay too super late, again, out of like respect for the fact that Dylan has to drive back, and also somebody is awake at home waiting for them to come back, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, and he'll explain that. He'll be like, okay, so when you're rich, you can not think about this stuff and nobody does anything, but also you have to consider this stuff. Like, even if you tell them not to, somebody's going to be up waiting for you. So we should probably start heading back.
Yeah, by the time you walk outside, about an inch of new snow has fallen on the streets and the cars, and so there are plenty of footprints on the sidewalks. As soon as you walk out the door, Dylan sees you, and he pops out, and he's obviously had the car running the entire time to not only keep the car warm for when you enter, but also to keep himself from freezing because he's been out here the entire time. You all get in and drive home. It is almost, by the time you get home, 10 o'clock at night, and sure enough, there are lights on in the manor. Yep. You go inside, and again, as soon as you step up to the porch and are almost at the door, as you reach out to the handle, it opens up, and Higgins is standing there waiting for you. Good evening, sir. I'm glad that you were back.
Hello,
Higgins. Did you have a good time?
Yep, it was a very productive trip. Thank you.
That's good. And
we
Dylan is going to bring in the packages, I assume.
Yeah, I think that would be good. And
very good.
Yeah, maybe we'll take drinks again in the library.
Very good, sir. Might I inquire your excursions today? Did you run into Master Felipe?
Oh, no, I didn't. Is he not back?
I see, sir. He has not returned yet. And he has not called.
Okay. How unusual is this for Felipe? I'm guessing
unusual.
Actually very unusual, because I haven't seen him in a couple of years, which means last time I saw him, he was just straight up a child.
Yeah. He was probably 11, 12 the last time you've seen him, so it's been four years or so. So he's 16, 17. I mean, no, so we haven't seen him, and this is not usual for him. He's usually home by 8 o'clock at the latest.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll drive back into town real quick and see if he's about.
Very good, sir. Dylan's like, yes, sir. Our car is still running.
No.
He sets a bunch of packages down.
He's like, no, Dylan's, if you don't mind, let's finish. I'll let you finish taking this stuff back in. We'll take the
probably the same car.
The Roadster.
Yeah, we'll take it. We'll take a different car.
Okay.
Just in case there's like trouble. I don't want my chauffeur to get shot.
If there's trouble, sir, I should be there to protect you.
That's hilarious.
You are an Arbogast.
It's all right. I've been driven around enough. Of course, I'm still going to be driven around because I'm going to let Blisco drive, but...
Do you think that Master Felipe is in any kind of danger, sir? Should I alert the police?
I'll tell you what. Let me do a quick round, and if I don't find him, I'll call the police.
Very good, sir.
Higgins, I know you're not going to listen to me, but you do not have to wait up for us.
I will endeavor to stay awake until you return, sir.
All right. Yep. All right.
Might I suggest, and he kind of looks around to make sure nobody else is listening. Dylan's is kind of sitting there, and Dylan's will keep quiet on this, I'm sure, but if you expect trouble, your belongings, your hunting gear, might be something you would take with you.
That's a good call, Dylan's. Actually, let's come back into the house for a bit, and we'll let the guests get whatever they need out of their bags.
Yes, I took the opportunity of putting things away, and that's when I discovered them. I'm sorry if I've intruded and did anything improper.
That's all right, Higgins. We should have established some ground rules before. That was my mistake. I haven't been back in this side of opulence for a while.
Understood, sir. The big flashy gun, though, did look rather interesting.
Oh, I'm sure, but do yourself a favor. Don't tell anybody about that.
Yes, sir. My lips are sealed.
And I do mean nobody. Right? This is for safety.
I understand, sir.
Okay. Yep. We'll go in and gear up.
Okay.
I'm probably just gonna take a handgun. I'm not gonna take like a full-on rifle.
Not going to take a rifle? Okay. Your family does have a collection of guns.
Yeah.
Carlos, so if you wanted to dual wield with 2 handguns, you can. And certainly anybody else can as well if they like.
Yeah, he'll be like, there's other guns here if you guys are looking for anything in particular.
Yeah, you would need to go down into the basement where there's an armory.
Mm-hmm.
And there's quite a collection of guns. A lot of handguns, a lot of antique guns, rifles, hunting rifles. There's weaponry from the First World War. This is probably at once was a private armory of guns for like hunting on the grounds. But it's pretty clear when you go down there and you start to see how John Arbogast, Carlos's father, has arranged the room. It is almost like a museum of war, that you can just see this progression from, old guns from the Revolutionary War. And as everything progresses, as you walk down this lengthy armory that probably runs 100 feet at least, you see weapons that are taking you all the way up to the current time period, including stuff from World War One. You see gas masks, those kinds of things.
Yep. Dutch probably doesn't think about this room. Like, he doesn't think about the fact that this room is weird or any weirder than all the other rooms.
Mm-hmm.
But it probably is weird to the others. So he's like,
weird.
just like going around looking for ammo. And he's like, oh, this is my old hunting rifle. Like, and he points at the stock. And he's like, see this chip? That was my tooth. And he pretends like he's holding the rifle. He doesn't take it off of the rack. But it's like, instead of and he shows them that instead of having the butt up against his shoulder, he had like the rifle up too far, and then definitely just like kabonked himself in the face when he shot it. And he's like, yep, I had an identical chip on my tooth until the very fine Albany dentists were able to fix that.
Well, maybe it's best as a lesson you learned before you got to basic, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
I remember learning that. I was bruised for a week the first time I shot a rifle.
Yep. But down memory lane in this room of death.
I think when we were talking of coats, I think Doc probably specifically tried to pick a coat large enough that one might be able to put one's shotgun in a place where it doesn't look like one is obviously
sure.
shotgunning.
So trench coats are super, super common for everybody to wear.
Yep.
So a long coat is not uncommon to be worn, and certainly under a long coat you can have a sawed-off shotgun, and unless you're carrying something that is obviously a rifle,
mm-hmm.
The Foe Seeker, for example, all of that stuff can be concealed under coats.
Perfect. So shotgunning under the coat.
Okay. Blisco, are you going to take the Foe Seeker?
Yeah. I'll take the Foe Seeker. Also grab an extra handgun just to...
Okay.
If we have to do something more public.
Well, here, let me get you... Actually, he probably... does he have, a case or, a sack for it?
For the Foe Seeker? Yeah, probably. That's how you guys have been moving around all this time. Things have been bundled up in bags.
Okay. Yeah, well, maybe that guy only comes out in code green emergencies.
Absolutely.
Put it in a trombone case. And tell him that,
I kind of assumed that that's what we had been doing, is that the Foe Seeker had been taken apart so that, it wasn't obvious that it was necessarily a weapon.
Nah, I mean, people aren't really checking bags, especially at this stage. That they're not checking bags, and after you pass the security check in Switzerland, they don't really, nobody really
there was
cares.
no reason to do it.
Yeah, and you've been on a military transport, and they've been told not to stay out of your bags. So, these look like hunting. For the most part, all the guns that you brought with you are in hunting rifle cases. Fabric bags in many cases, or just a duffel bag in the case of the Foe Seeker. So yeah, there's no problem. People have not seen this.
Yeah.
Haha.
All right. We'll let Blisco pick a car and we'll head towards the community hall.
Blisco's definitely gonna go to a couple of the more high-end cars real quick, shake his head, and then go to something somewhat less conspicuous.
Surprisingly, there is
a town car.
Yeah, there is a town car that is very low quality compared to all the rest of these cars that are in here. And it's clear that this is a car that is meant for the staff to use.
Perfect.
Oh, the staff car.
Yeah, it's when we send them shopping downtown, this is the car.
People have to go shopping, collect mail, just do tasks that they have to run into town. This one is one that will definitely hold all of you.
And hopefully one more.
Yeah.
And definitely this one would easily be able to seat 6 people. 3 in the front, 3 in the back.
All right. Well, I'll take shotgun this time.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I already have the shotgun.
All right. Well, okay. Since you do have the shotgun, you can ride shotgun.
All right. You start the car, and it, even though it is a lesser quality car, Blisco, this car still runs perfectly. Dylan's not only is the chauffeur, he's probably the mechanic and the person who details the car. And because you two were sharing such friendship and kinship over the automobiles, that Dylan's is making sure that this car is running just as good, if not better, than some of the other cars.
Blisco's slightly less upset about not getting to drive the real fancy stuff.
We'll be here a while.
I mean, it sure would be awful if you wrecked a one-of-a-kind car because you're having a shootout of some kind. Okay, so where are you headed to?
We'll start out at the community hall, which was the place where he was supposed to be going.
Okay. You guys want to say anything as you're driving?
Just to keep an eye out for him, because you just, potentially he could be walking back if he got stranded or something.
You do see a few people out on the streets, but it's getting pretty late. You pass a cop car that's just kind of idling in an alley, just looking for ne'er-do-wells this late in the evening. But it's pretty late. The streets are relatively deserted. There's still people out, celebrating some holiday cheer at the bars. Yeah. But for the most part, there is nothing going on. But as you drive closer down town, you do see some buildings still have their lights on, and you see looming towards the main part of town, just across the street from the city hall, you see the massive civic center or community center of Albany, New York. Critical Hit Punch Hall Nazis is a production of Major Spoilers Entertainment and was produced and edited by me, Steven Schleicher. If you would like to get a behind-the-scenes making of this episode, be sure to check out the GM Roundtable Octoon Cthulhu Edition at our Patreon page, patreon.com/Major Spoilers. Each week I discuss my plans for the upcoming game session, and Dr. Brad Will is there to share his reactions and advice on how to be a better game master. I will warn you, though, There are spoilers galore in every installment of the GM Roundtable Octoon Cthulhu Edition. So, if you don't like spoilers and don't want to know what I am planning next, don't listen to these episodes. Though, I will say, if you do listen, you'll be able to see how and where the players throw a wrench into my plans, and you're also going to have greater insight into the world that's being built into this campaign. This week, we didn't have any named NPCs, so no shoutouts to our associate producers this week, but next week, we'll feature a lot of surprises, and more than a few of our wonderful patrons will become NPCs in this game. You want your name to appear as one of these NPCs in future episodes? All you need to do is become an associate producer at patreon.com/Major Spoilers. Finally, we want you to record yourself doing your best on Critical Hit and send it to us at podcast@majorspoilers.com, and your voice will join the growing chorus of fans in upcoming episodes as well. Thank you again for listening this week, and here's hoping all of your dice rolls are critical hits.
This podcast is copyright 2023 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.